So what I'm about to just explain to you is the sales operating procedure. So we've already gone through what is expected of a salesperson, okay?
Yes.
This is specifically what we want from the salesperson while they're on site. Like what happens in the meeting, okay?
Yes.
So they need to be dressed in at least like formal clothes, okay? Suit, tie, not really, but yeah, fine, and polished shoes, okay? Make sure you look decent, okay? And when I'm saying suit, you can do a full-blown suit like this or business casual, okay? So button-up shirt, golf shirts, I think it's a bit too relaxed, because the more serious you look, the more serious the customer takes you. Okay, technician golf shirt is fine. For other sales meeting, at least this. Yeah. Okay. Well-groomed appearance, clean nails, and apparently strong sense is a thing I never knew. Okay. Things that they have to have with them is physically the laptop. Okay, for the presentation, their phone. Then notepad, meaning a physical pad to write on, because yeah, exactly that, right? Because what the pain points and stuff that it's facing. Okay, you need to have 2 brochures with your hardware and software. So we're going to be printing those out. Okay, so you'll have a software brochure and a hardware brochure with you when you're going. We'll have soft copies that you can share with the customers. We're not going to give them your hard copy because it's something that's quite expensive to print. If you're going to give it to every customer, it's going to be really pricey. And then business cards. So everybody needs to get business cards now. Yeah. Every salesperson and you, because you're an FM, you need a business card. Okay. Obviously, the most of the lead generations will come from here. Right, where we do our Facebook and Google and whatever advertising, what we call qualified hot leads. Okay. Not most, but at least most, like 60% should come from here. Then you'll also be having referrals. So meaning a customer either opening a new branch or a customer saying, "Can I? My friend has got this and this, so can we please go and help him?" Okay, so we need to be able, so those leads need to be logged, okay? So if it's coming, like if it's a referral that you're getting directly, you need to log it on your side as the salesperson, right? Or as the management staff, you're going to log that referral, and then, okay, so when you get a meeting from here, you need to confirm that meeting with the customer 45 minutes beforehand, right? Because it could be that, because this side they're going to be actually like setting up the meetings now, when they initially speak to a customer.
Okay.
Okay. And it's going to come through like a ticket, like a job card.
Oh, okay.
Okay, to you. If it's a Google lead or a Facebook lead, right? Not to you, because you're not a salesperson, but to the salespeople in your area, right?
Yeah.
So that we know what time they're expected to be on site, because they're going to be logging, physically geotagging themselves when they reach, like check in, right? So confirm. You have to confirm with your, not you, the salesperson is to confirm the meeting 45 minutes beforehand. Like, okay, I'm about to start off. Are you there? Right? Or reschedule it if the customer is saying that they want it at another time. Yeah. Before you go, you need to understand, like, is this a restaurant? Is it a supermarket? Is it a single store? Is it a franchise? Try to do some research on the place before you go.
Before you get there, you
Yeah.
reach out for business.
And that you have the right presentation ready for them, because there's no point of like presenting maybe a wholesaler presentation to a supermarket or to a restaurant, right? It wouldn't make sense. Understand who we are meeting. So when we create the meetings, we'll try and get you who is the person that I'm going to find there, right? And kind of like, and what are you in the company? Like, are you a director? Are you so you understand who you're pitching to? Yeah. And then plan the travel time for punctuality. A big thing that converts sales is being early. Huge thing. Always be early. Yeah. Something I struggle with, but it's true. You need to be early. That was where I was going to make a joke, but I avoided it. Step 2, arrive on preparation. So arrive 5 to 10 minutes early. Understand the industry. So don't come there and like not even know this is a dairy farm, or you need to be knowing what's happening, because you basically have 4 seconds, right, to leave an impression on somebody that you shot. 4 seconds. 4 seconds, the first 4 seconds, to give them that impression that this guy knows what he's talking about, right? So the last thing you want is to come in there like out of breath and like, fuck, I'm sorry. You don't want to start with I'm sorry.
Start with an apology.
I'm sorry I'm late. Right? Decision makers don't like hearing that. Right? If you are late, yes, but
make sure I'm not late.
yeah, that is the key. Like, try and be early, right? And as soon as the meeting starts, understand what is happening. You mustn't be there like, oh, it's interesting, I never thought about this industry. You understand? Because that's the impression you're giving off you don't know, okay? So, you introduce yourself and setting the stage. Introduce yourself professionally. I am Eddie Namayala. Namayala. I'm the field manager for Chrilan Technology, and yeah, I'm here to do a sales presentation. Ask where the meeting can be held. Obviously, find out like, okay, where we're meeting from, like in the place. Yeah, so you can set up. Tell them I need a few minutes just to quickly set up my laptop and everything, and then we can start. Right? Yeah, and be confident. Don't be looking at the ground. Trust. One trick I've got, right, which works wonders for me, is find something that, like, whether it's a sports. I don't know if you watch sports. Right? If it's a sports personality, if it's a movie actor, even if it's a Marvel comic, whatever it is, right? Yeah. Somebody that when you watch them, you're like, wow, that guy is confident and is in the zone. You know that zone where, like for me, what I always think is like Ronaldo when he scores, before he does the suing move, that way he jumps like, you know, suing, right? Yeah. Imagine that feeling, right, of like having scored that goal, that confidence, that, and imagine that you are that person as you enter, right? You imagine being that person as if you're an actor in a movie or an actor in that Ronaldo movie, right? Try and envision yourself in that state. It will automatically make you walk taller, you'll feel more confident. It's weird at first, but trust me, it works. Try and get into that frame of mind, right? So I always see like the, you know, Anfield, they have the never walk alone as they enter the pitch.
The what?
Anfield is Liverpool Stadium.
Yes, I do.
They have never walk alone written, and all the players touch it as they enter the pitch. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right? Now that, imagine how that player must feel, right? Because when he touches that thing, his mind switches on. Right, he's in game mode now. He understands I'm walking into the stadium now. So get something to trigger yourself that now I'm a professional. Forget that your girlfriend broke up with you 5 minutes ago or whatever happened, right? Switch on.
That moment.
And I can tell you one thing, like the moment you start doing that, your meetings become successful. Like crazy. Like for myself, I personally almost never fail in a meeting. Because I switch on like crazy. Like I can be dull before, I can be dull after, but in that meeting it's like you switch on and the other person picks it up. If you're sitting there timidly and you're like, oh, do you want something to drink? No, I'm fine. It's not the right frame of mind to establish with that person that you are a person of value and that you're a person of importance and that you're there to solve their problem. Okay, so start the presentation. You're going to briefly introduce Chrilan Technology, right? So we're going to have a small script, but personally I struggle with scripts, right? because I always go off script, maybe because I'm a naturally talkative person. But generally, if you have at least a script that in your mind you're referencing, you're more consistent on your delivery of your message. Yeah, so it's not all over the place. Yeah, and then also you can, like, while you're busy introducing yourself, you're like, you know what, on the way I actually saw this customer, we did the setup last week. You know, this place reminds me a lot of that customer that you did. Okay, so while you're busy doing those introductions, but this has to be done in a super casual way. You cannot be doing it in an explicit way. Okay, because this like noting that other customers are in the same industry, right? It builds your the confidence of the customer in you tremendously. So before you even go there, make sure you know who's the customers around them, who's people that's in the same industry. Right? As they're mentioning to you issues that they're having, you know what, that issue was exactly what Hungry Lion had. Right? And this is how we solve that issue. Okay? So understand, don't lie. Be honest, but make sure you come with info. Because the last thing you want to do, right, as a salesperson, you're not there to convert sales that are not supposed to be sold. Okay? You are supposed to convert the 100% of the customers that should be buying our product. The ones that should be. Not be pushing a hotel onto the system and promising that we're going to be adding room booking in the next week and no, oh, you want time and attendance? Yeah, that is coming in the next week. No. Right? We're selling what we have. When we add a feature, then we sell that feature. Okay? Not or making all kinds of promises like, no, we're the developers, we can add for you this and that, and no, sell what you have, okay? Because that makes a good deal that nobody's unhappy with. We don't want to be making promises on things that we don't do. Because we've got a decent product, we don't need to be making all kinds of crazy promises. The reason why people go into crazy promises is because they're pitching the wrong customer in the first place. That's why you're going to crazy promises. You need to, as you walk in, go in with the attitude of saying, you know, our product doesn't exactly fit what your requirements are. I suggest using this product. Another company even. You need to be able to walk away from a sale if it's the wrong sale. Yes. Because why are you even pitching the wrong thing? You're going to get discouraged that the product is wrong. You're going to get discouraged that, am I not good at selling? You understand? But it's not that. You're pitching the wrong people. Okay? So that's why this part becomes very important. Okay?
Yeah.
So after you've introduced yourself, right? Now this needs to be done very much in a conversational tone and what we call active listening, okay? So you can ask Charity, right? When I'm talking to customers, I'm able to get them to tell me a lot about their business, right? Because I'm not asking like a policeman. It's not like, why are you doing that? No, right? You need to understand, like, you know, oh, I see you actually have a system already. What system is it? Okay, it's this. I'm not that familiar with it. And tell me, why are you considering like another system? What are some of the pain points that you've been experiencing, right? There's that. Most of the time it's support, by the way.
So what?
Support. Support is 90% of the reason why people leave a POS system, right?
That's true.
Support. No, I'm not getting help from the company. It's seldom features or anything like that, right? Yeah, okay, some they want to go a bit more advanced and so forth, but 90% you'll hear, when you ask that question, nah, these guys, they just installed and they left me. Yes. Okay, so that's 90%. So when you hear that, right, your pitch is not about features and making empty promises. You don't need to. The guy's already told you what's important to him. He wants to know that like when he buys this thing, it will be set up in a correct manner and that you'll be able to call somebody and have his issues looked at. Okay? So there's no need to go into pitching all kinds of crazy shit. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? If it's not a fit, acknowledge and exit professionally. Okay? If the guy's saying like, for me to go with this, like again I'm going to use a towel as a thing, I need to have room booking and I need to be able to, from my rooms, be able to, or from the bar, be able to send to a room and stuff, right? Okay, so we don't offer that. You can use tables, but the room bookings definitely not. We don't do scheduling on rooms, nothing like that. Right? Which, by the way, we are working on that. It is going to come. But we sell it once we have it. Okay? Just because I'm telling you as an FM it's coming doesn't mean to start pitching it to customers.
It's coming, we're going to have it in the near future.
Yeah, but the thing is like the near future can be 3 months, it can be a year. Because then I can change all the regulations tomorrow. And then our development goes another course again. Okay? So we sell what we have. You make a note of that customer and you go revisit him when we've launched the thing that they wanted.
They wanted.
Yes.
We didn't have it.
No, at that time we didn't have it, so now we do have it. Right? And let me show you how it works. Okay? And then do active listening. Now what is active listening? When the customer is talking to you, you don't just sit there quietly. You say, yes. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I've seen that before. Ooh, yeah, that's true. You understand? Make sure, it's like the thing that's so annoying when we do online meetings that everybody mutes their mics. Right? Now you don't want to be like a muted mic in front of the person. Because now when you're like doing a presentation like this online, right? There's no fucking, nobody's telling you anything. Like there's no, yes. Oh, true. You don't know, it's people grasping what you're saying. Yeah, you're thinking the guy is open Sudoku and he's playing Sudoku, right? And the same thing can happen in front of the customer. You will think, like, why are you talking? He's not interested in what I'm telling him. Right?
Yeah.
So it's active listening and making notes. Yeah, it's interesting. And also, so tell me, like, let's take as a restaurant a good example, right? Tell me, so are you currently managing thoughts? Right? And do you keep your stock in the bottles or do you keep it in thoughts? Okay? Not only is that telling the customer that you are asking questions and you're understanding, but you're establishing yourself as an expert. Right? Because that means you understand thoughts and bottle issues in a restaurant. And how do you receive your things that you prep in the kitchen? Is it in weights? Are you doing pre-packed units? Right? Like, are you receiving are you receiving patties or are you receiving mince? Are you making your own patties? You understand? Are you receiving potatoes and making chips or are you buying chips as an entity? You understand? You ask these questions that not only it's good information to get from the customer, but you're telling the customer that you know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's not your first rodeo. Right? You've been there before, you understand. Tell me, like, when order is punched, how does the kitchen know? Like, do you have a printer in there? Do you want a print? Are you going to be using order numbers where they shout the order number? You understand that type of question? Is it important for you to know when food is taken to prep? Right? If it is, we have a tablet as well. Do you know about that?
Yes.
Okay. You can put a tablet in your kitchen that can also notify the waiters. Like, you understand what is the things that he's talking about. If it's a guy that's not into tech, you don't pitch that. Right?
Okay.
You pitch stability. Right? You pitch paper. You pitch the printer. Like, if he's not into tech, he wants a printer, trust me. He doesn't want a tablet. Yeah, so when you look at these questions, you're still going to go through the same pitch, right? But you're going to modify the slides, how much time you're spending on each one. Because it depends on how he's answered you. That you need to first grasp who you're talking to. Like yesterday I was with Gigi, right? And the way it was explained to me, he's interested in data. He wants to know every, like, how many people are there, how many this, how many that, right? Right?
Yeah.
Then you go into that, how we can help you achieve that what you're talking about. Okay? And also you ask more questions, like, don't just accept the statement. Follow up the question, like, okay, you're saying that, what do you mean by that? Don't be scared to say you don't know a certain thing, right? Because you might be using an acronym or something that you don't know. You can ask. And when you say that, what does that mean? Like, for you, what does that mean? Okay? Don't be scared to ask that question. Because yes, you're an expert, but he might be using a language that you've not heard of. It's better you get to what he's saying and you can explain to him, this is how I use it. Ask Charity how many questions I ask in a meeting. You don't want to like go in there and be a know-it-all. Yes, you're an expert, but you want to understand how your solution is going to fit them. Right? How are you going to help them manage their business? Okay, you're getting what I'm saying? So it's this like asking the questions, right? To me, is 80% of the sale happens here. Asking the right questions. Okay? Then you're going to open your PDF slide only. Once you've understood what is happening in the thing, you're going to go through your pitch where you'll go slide by slide, explaining to them, okay, so you'll have a slide, you'll have a presentation for supermarkets, for restaurants. So let's say it's a supermarket, right? You're going to be asking them like, okay, I'm seeing there's meats and stuff at the back. How are you doing it? Are you using a scale? Like, how are you doing that? I'm seeing you've got pricing on your shelves. What are you using for pricing? How are you managing your pricing on your shelves? There'll be different questions which you don't even know yet that you're going to learn. Trust me, there's a lot of shit that you're going to, once you get into understanding this, right? There's a lot of things you're not even seeing that you should be seeing, okay? I think you've already picked that up, right? So now when we go into that pitch, you're going to spend maybe like, you see the guy doesn't have a scale, then you're going to explain the scale section a bit more to him. Like, this is what our scales can do for you. Yes, it's an investment of 30,000 kwacha, but it's going to reduce the theft via this and this and this way. Okay? After that, you're going to show the products and the services. Okay? So physically, the hardware catalog also needs to be shown to the customer. Right? So you'll be bringing out your catalog, showing them, like, where this is the scales we use, this is the all-in-one units. And you don't pitch hardware as, oh, you have an all-in-one, I have an all-in-one, right? You pitch it as in they buy into your ecosystem, the way Apple does it, right? So when you've got our all-in-one and our printer, right, it means that you won't have any compatibility issues, you know, and if you do, it's all on us. We can't be telling you that, no, this, that. So you in essence, you're asking the customer, how much does he value stability? And how much does he really have the time to manage that, oh, the printer is down, now he needs to phone that guy comes to check, and then that guy says, no, it's a system issue, then he needs to phone us now, and then we're struggling with the printer. Okay? If he wants that headache, sure, if that's not 3,300 kwacha worth to solve that, then fine, but you need to give him that option to say like, yes, our printers are 3,300 kwacha, and you know what, we've got more than 500 of them in the market. I think it's even more than that now. I think we're heading to 1,000 of them in the market. We know the stability, we know the performance in Zambia, and we can guarantee you good performance out of that printer. When you buy our all-in-ones, we buy from the same factory every time. We're over 300 all-in-ones in Zambia. We know the performance in Zambia of that all-in-one. So we know that when you buy our all-in-one with our software, you're not going to have any troubles. Okay, that is the pitch. Yeah, but your all-in-one is a bit pricier than this or that. But we've been doing our research on the hardware, and we had the cheaper one also. We also had the cheaper one. But there's a reason why we moved away from it. Right? We've done our research and we know which is the right one. Because combined we are 40 years in POS. Yes, in Zambia it's only been 7 years, but combined it's 40 years of research that has gone into deciding that this is the all-in-one we use. You understand? So that is the message that you need to convey to the customer. We're not competing with Kamwala or Town. Right? If you want to go and buy problems, go buy. Right? If you want to buy stability, you come into our ecosystem. Right? Then we can guarantee you from point A to point Z, you're going to not have any issues. That is the difference, right? Now he's understanding that it's a maintenance, because the printer you bought from the China market, right? When it breaks, they're talking shit, they're not helping you.
You want to go and say our printer is not working.
Yeah, never want to call, right? When it has broken officially, who's going to replace it? Right? With us, we know, like, we bring in a ton of these printers, we know their stability, which, by the way, we've never had one single return on a printer. Never. On our Romta thermal printers, not one. That is the guarantee we're giving you. We're guaranteeing you stability. So you need to ask yourself, when your business is busy, right, and that printer goes down, how much is that worth to you? It's not purely of looking at 3,300 kwacha. It's looking at stability. It's looking about your business at its peak performance. Our hardware, we guarantee you, is going to bring you through that peak performance period. You're not going to sit there, my all-in-one is not coming on. I lost 50,000 sales last night. Because then it's cheap. Right? Once you've lost 50,000 kwacha sales, right? Now 14,500 kwacha doesn't look that bad.
It's supposed to be 45,000 something.
Yeah, now you've lost at least 40,000 kwacha that night. Now that looks like, shit, 15 or 14,500 was a great investment. And that's the thing, it's like when we're looking at cars, this is the cheap car versus the expensive car, right? Yeah, the cheap one looks good until it breaks and now you're going to reach customers, right? Now you've lost 100,000 in deals. And the deals that would have come from those deals, you've lost. Now it looks expensive. And that's the message we need to get across when we show our hardware. And come with case studies ready. Right? So what a case study is, like, where did we successfully implement recipes, right? And explain, like, before they were having these issues, now because of the implementation of the recipes being done in this way, it's now smooth. Like the kitchen thing for restaurants, the scale thing for supermarkets. So I'll include that in your presentation, but generally you need to do your own homework because it's a little bit different for each customer. Okay? And as you go through it, there's one thing that the company has got a success, but you also as a salesperson, you start to know, like, oh, we did this for that guy, and it really helped him. You know, the guy phones me every fucking 2 weeks and says, geez, my business is on a whole new level since I joined you guys. That's what I want. You understand? That you need to build up your own case studies. Okay? Once you're done, they encourage questions throughout your presentation, right? Like, as you're going slide by slide, have it something like what we're having now, right? Where, like, if there's something that you're not grasping, something, like, address it right then and there. Okay? Yeah. And obviously address concerns calmly. The main thing is, like, when you're in a meeting, right? If you're confident in your product, you're confident that support is not going to disappoint you, right? So you're like, Lyt-Soft is fucking a really excellent product. The hardware is really rock solid, and our admin team is going to get this shit here in no time, right? Then you'll be calm. You won't have any knee-jerk reaction. So I think, like, generally, like, that point, if you're confident in what you're selling, right, and you're in that frame of mind that I was telling you, like, get yourself in the right frame of mind. It's addressing people is nothing. So now, okay, there's one thing that here that it's not going directly into. Ask for the, like, you're going to gather the business customer information, so that is a system thing, okay?
Okay.
You're going to generate the quotes while you're there, so that you can explain the quotes. to the customer. So if they ask why are you charging this, why are you charging that, right?
You are able to explain.
Right? You can take the customer to understand what they're paying for. Okay? Provide a soft copy of the hardware brochure. If they're not saying they haven't decided on any hardware, whatever, okay? Okay. Now that guide to next steps, meaning ask for the order. One big thing, right, that shitty salespeople do, and the customer picks up on it. You're not confident to say, okay, when are we starting? Okay? Now the customer might say something like, I need to talk to my accountant, I need to talk to my lawyer, I need to talk to my wife, right? Then you go into what we call looping. Have you ever heard the concept of looping? Yes, looping. Okay, so looping is now what you're going to say, I hear you. I hear that you need to talk to your wife or your brother, your cousin, or your sister, or whatever, right? But all that actually means generally, right? Not to say always, but 90% of the time that just means I'm not sure. That's what they're saying. Right? When you've ever tried to hit on a girl, right?
They're simply asking for time to
right?
make a decision.
When she starts with that, like, no, let me think about it. It means that she's not sure, right? Because you haven't, there's like, you need to reach a certain level of, they're sure on you, they're sure on the product, and they're sure on the pricing, then they'll sign. If they're sure on those three things, there's nothing to think about. Right? So it means you haven't conveyed one of them to the right level to the customer. Okay? So now we're going to go into looping. I hear you. Okay? I hear what you're saying. But generally, how does it sound? Does it sound like a good option? No, it sounds okay. Hopefully the customer doesn't say it sounds shit, because that means you fucked up somewhere, right? So now it's going to tell you, yeah, it does, but okay. Now you're going to go into the okay. We're not fucking like street salespeople that run after cars and shit, okay? Mm-hmm. But you're going to go into a next thing now, right? Then you're going to say, okay, this is now where you force a decision-making thing, where you're going to say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but generally you like the idea. It sounds cool. No, it actually does. Then you're going to ask things like, okay, and you agree, like, if you implement this, it could save you a lot of money on theft. Yeah, it does, and it can really optimize your business. And then, like, how much would you reckon, like, if what I'm telling you is correct, right? Yeah. If what I'm telling you is correct, right? How much do you think that could possibly, like, benefit your business in the next month? If what I'm telling you is correct, right? Okay, no, it can benefit me drastically. And let's say I'm wrong, worst case scenario, right? Everything's a fuck up, what I've told you is not there, right? You've invested, the only thing that's not returnable is basically the setup, installation and training. The hardware you can still use on another place. Right? Right? Yeah. But the rest is still 100% salvageable. Like, the hardware is not going to shit because you're not happy with the software. Right? So even if I'm lying to you completely and I'm just selling you a pot of shit, you maximum that you're risking here is maybe a 3,000 or 4,500 now, right? And the upside is that you can make up your business can benefit up to, let's say, 50,000 or 80,000 or 100,000 in this month, right? So then you're going to go into again. So why don't we start now? And then you know what you're going to do? Like, don't even start on annual. Seeing that you're not sure, don't yet put your money on annual there. Right? Let's start small. Let's do one shop. Don't commit all your stores then yet. You're not sure yet on me, then let's start with one shop. And what do you have to lose? If it's a fucking disaster, it's 3,000 kwacha. And you can even say, like, you as a salesperson, out of that, you fucking, once you pay your income tax and stuff, and you split it with, you can't even buy your girlfriend lunch, right? Right? You're not making a killing out of that deal, but But if you build a relationship with the customer, and you need to communicate this to the customer, but if I'm right and I build that relationship with you, and we do all 10 your stores or we do your annual, that's when I make money. So let's start off small then, right? And you try and convert the customer that way, because you need to get them into making a small step, then they'll generally get into the next step. Okay. Yeah, and then we're going to the login, meeting notes, feedback. The thing is with the loop though, right? If you do 2 loops, right?
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying again, and then you go into your second pitch, and the customer is still like not sure, right? Right? Like right now, you can tell the customer very clearly, like, are you willing to risk the 40,000 kwacha fine from ZRA? That's one of the big things, right? Versus a 3,000 kwacha or 4,500 kwacha installation, right? So even if you're wrong, you at least you have the certificate here, which by the way will be giving you printed certificates so you can show the customers. We'll be hanging the certificate there behind you that you're on an approved smart invoicing system. ZRA won't even be looking at your business at that point. Okay? So you're offering them safety. Right? At the low fee of 4,500, the fucking crazy low fee of 4,500 kwacha. I mean, that's fucking barely, what's that? Is it even $100? No, it's like just over $100, right? Right? I mean, it's not even the price of, what can you buy in reality for that money in business? I mean, that's, our petty cash a day is double that.
Yeah.
Right? And to avoid ZRA sitting with an agent in your shop the whole of next year. Right? And trying to negotiate down that far.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, is it even worth the risk to not, it's like it's crazy not to do it. Or the other option is you can go to ZRA's free system and then they know absolutely everything about your business. And there's no undoing anything. Like, if you post a GIV there,
It's done.
ZRA is there in order to see your stores. Like, you understand, right? If you can't go ZRA route, it's free, right? But there's a reason why it's free. You get what you pay for, right? There's a reason why it's free. Okay, and then we go into in Synergy. You're going to be logging your meeting notes after that, right? Yeah. So this is going to be what we call the proposal stage. You do your quotes, you log your meetings, and then it's going to create follow-ups for you. You complete your follow-ups and always answer your phone, right? So that's the basic concept of the sales flow, like from the point you enter the building until the point that you've now completed the sale. If this is followed, right, and that you're not late, you've seen the customer within 24 hours of them initially making contact, right, and you're not late, and you follow these steps, oh my God, your conversion ratio will be through the roof. I'm telling you, 80%. 80% of the customers you'll sign up. Right? That 250k target will be nothing. You'll wipe that. Right? Like the way Lusaka reps do. Like just being on time. Oh my God, just that alone. Without any of these techniques. Just being on time already is a big winner. But if you follow these techniques, right, and you look prepared, and you look sharp, and you're asking the right questions, oh my God, dude. People always say like, yeah, you close a lot of deals because you're white. It's not because I'm white. It's because people see that I'm an expert in what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. Right? So the moment they have that conversation with me, right, even though they were frustrated beforehand, they can become excited again because they know like if I'm focused on them, they're going to get the result that they want. So you need to also tell the customer when you're a salesperson, like, I'm going to be your guy. Because I want to help you build your franchise or whatever the guy's objective is, right? Yeah. I want to be a partner in that, in the sense that all your friends, you must tell them that you use us. That's where my money lies. Not in your one deal, I'm not making anything much, right? Like I can't buy even roses for my girlfriend, right? Like, what share does Eddie get out of a 4 or 5, right? There's nothing there, right? But once you open up all these stores or all these friends and you build that reputation and you must explain that to the customer. That is what I want. I don't care about per se about the money on this one deal. I care about building that relationship with you. Right? Once your installation is done, I'm still going to check in with you. Right? Ask, did the guys do what you expected them to do? Right? You want to build that relationship because that items referrals like crazy. And it improves the customer. Forget about purely the sales aspect of it. It improves the customer experience drastically as well. So it's good for the company and it's good for you as an individual that wants to push more sales. You're getting what I'm saying?